first breaking developments regarding the administration-wide effort to cover up the truth about the Benghazi terror attack. Today, a letter from the House Oversight Committee Chairman Darrell Issa and Congressman Jason Chaffetz was delivered to the White House. Now, the 10-page document includes a comprehensive list of the warning signs that this president either missed or flat out ignored in the months leading up to the assassination of Ambassador Chris Stevens and his 3 colleagues. Now, more importantly, accompanying that letter are more than 100 memos, reports, cables, and emails sent by the ambassador and his security team alerting Washington about the rise of radical extremism in Libya. Now, today, we dug very deep into each and every one of the haunting documents. We have reached this conclusion. The 4 Americans that were killed in that orchestrated terror attack on 9/11, they knew they were in grave danger. They reported their concerns to government officials, and nothing was done to save them. Now, in addition to the release of this information, it now proves that we have been lied to, and lied to repeatedly, by numerous members of this administration, including, well, the vice president himself. Do you remember this?
And they wanted more security there.
Well, we weren't told they wanted more security again. We did not know they wanted more security again.
Well, that's not so. Countless requests for more security were sent and received by the State Department. And thanks to today's document dump, well, we now have the proof. Now, let's review some of the key findings. Way back in December of 2011, Undersecretary of State Patrick Kennedy signed off on a memo that extended America's presence in Benghazi through 2012. And he did so even though the memo stated, quote, because of budget constraints and the reduced footprint, Diplomatic Security's current presence consists of 2 special agents with an additional 3 slots currently unfilled. Now, the same document also reports that the compound itself is unsafe. Quote, the electrical, plumbing, and physical security work needed to bring this facility up to an acceptable standard would negate any cost savings of the move. A June 2012 memo from the ambassador himself is ominously titled, Libya's fragile security deteriorates as tribal rivalries, power plays, and extremism intensifies. Then in August, approximately 1 month before he was killed, Stevens personally emailed the State Department, writing, quote, what we have not seen are random crimes of opportunity, but rather targeted and discriminate attacks. And in what was likely the last email he would ever pen, on September the 11th, Stevens eerily warned at great length about the, quote, growing problems with the security situation in eastern Libya, yet even noting that, quote, the British withdrew their presence from Benghazi after the widely reported June 11th RPG attack on the British ambassador's motorcade. Now, sadly, that was the final sentence of the final memo that the ambassador would ever send. And even worse, everything you just heard was readily available to the president and his national security team, which makes their claims that this tragedy was in any way related to a YouTube video or was spontaneous even that more disgusting. And joining me now to talk about the letter that he sent to the president and what he's now demanding from the White House is Congressman Jason Chaffetz, along with Senator Lindsey Graham. Gentlemen, welcome back to Hannity.
Thanks, John.
Thank you.
We played what the vice president said. So my question is, coupled with what the president said last night on Jon Stewart, I'm going to play it for you, but the question will be, did they lie to the American people? Watch what he said last night.
Every piece of information that we get, as we got it, we laid it out for the American people.
Congressman, did the vice president and the president of the United States lie?
I come to that conclusion, Sean. I look at what the vice president said, what the president has said, what Ambassador Rice has said, what Secretary Clinton said. They have not been honest with the American people. The intelligence community was foreshadowing for months that terrorism was abound, terrorism was happening. They attacked our compound twice. The Brits had to get up and leave. There were hundreds of terrorist incidents. Al-Qaeda was flying flags above buildings, government buildings there in eastern Libya. And then they come out after this attack and say, we think it was a video?
Yeah.
Look at all this. This is all unclassified intelligence.
All right, now, Senator Graham, there are videos of all of this that prove that they knew from day one, our intelligence knew it was not spontaneous.
Yes.
Our intelligence knew it was not related to this video. Did they lie, in your opinion, and should those tapes be released?
The tapes should be released. They're either incredibly incompetent, but they're stonewalling us all. Thank God for a Republican-controlled House. Do you think we'd know much of anything if it hadn't been for Jason and Daryl? So they're not being forthcoming. You have to drag it out of them. I've written a letter along with Senator McCain 10 days ago asking the intelligence community to provide us the information you gave to Secretary Rice to make her believe this was a result of a riot 5 days later. Haven't gotten one word back.
Yeah, but did they lie, Senator? I mean, because we know the president 14 days later on The View and before the United Nations, he was asked directly on The View, was this terrorism?
Right.
Well, we don't know yet. Well, the State Department knew it was
They're
terrorism
the most disconnected
in real
people in
time,
the-
didn't they?
Right. Well, they're either the most incompetent people in the world or they're misleading us. Here's the question for me. What did the president know about the deteriorating situation in Benghazi months before this happened? Lieutenant Colonel Wood's testimony comes back and it kind of haunts my soul. He said Benghazi, it was inevitable we would get attacked, almost inevitable. We were the last flag flying. Everybody had left there, and we're trying to normalize relationships with a government that has no capacity. And I can't believe the White House would allow the President of the United States to go out and be among the public after our consulate was attacked June the 6th, blowing a hole in the wall that 40 people could have gotten through. I don't think anybody's that incompetent. So I'm assuming the President knew about the deteriorating situation, the comeback of al-Qaeda, and did nothing about it.
Well, wait, we got proof of that. Let's put it up on the screen here. In August 8th, this
Right.
is more than a month before, memo from Stevens calls security forces understaffed. He says it directly there. If you
Right.
look at, he also warns in the same memo of Islamic extremism rising. And then we have an image of the consulate before it was attacked showing the security cameras,
Right.
were present. Where's the footage, in other words?
Sean, what I don't understand is our consulate was bombed twice. That was terrorism. We never
Yes.
called it terrorism then. They didn't follow through. Where else in the world did that happen? And on September 1st, the Interior Minister, the Libyan Interior Minister, puts Eastern Libya on high alert. The ambassador sends a cable back to Washington, D.C. on September 4th and says, we're losing control out there. And this guy walks into Benghazi with two armed people and 3 other people on the compound, and then we wonder that it was some video. It just doesn't add up.
Here's what so now we know that they were warned and they did nothing. Now we also know
Right.
that this was not spontaneous, as they said from the very beginning, and they knew within hours. In real time, the State
We
Department
got a
knew.
video.
We got video, and they were watching
Right, we
it in
got a
real
video.
time. This woman testified. So the question is, why would the president, 2 weeks later, tell the American people we're still investigating and keep apologizing for the video and keep telling everybody it's spontaneous? Why?
I think Governor Romney should ask him that question. And if he doesn't, it's a missed opportunity. Paul Ryan did a great job, but he should turn to Vice President Biden when he said, I didn't know anything about these security requests. He should ask him, did
Right.
you know that the consulate was bombed in April and June? Did you know that the British had to leave Benghazi? Did you know that the Red Cross office was closed? Did you know that al-Qaeda was coming back in droves?
Is there any reason why, that we can't show this video to the American people? Is there any reason?
Hey, the president said in that hard-hitting interview with Jon Stewart that as the information becomes available, we share it with the American people. Then, Mr. President, show us that video.
Yeah, and what he said
Show
about,
us the tape.
well, 4 Americans died. It's not optimal. We're going to deal with that. But, guys, thank you very much.
I hope Governor Romney will ask questions about what the president knew, when he knew it, and what he did about it.
Yeah, don't count on the media to do that job. Thank you both for being with us, and we're going to continue to follow up and demand that you, the American people, have a right to see the video. It's available. The entire thing is on tape. When we come back, we got Karl Rove.